Welcome students for our next lecture, lecture number 2, History of Plant Pathology. So in case of this history of plant pathology, there is a different eras which we are going to study. So basically we are starting with the ancient era. It's a ancient saint named Surupal in ancient time to 15th century. Symptoms and control of diseases have been mentioned in Vriksha Ayurveda, a certain kind of book which was mentioned by Surupal, known as a Vriksha Ayurveda, just like a human Ayurveda. So he has given a concept in a book known as a Vriksha Ayurveda, and in case of ancient time to 15th century, he has mentioned some of the symptoms and control of the diseases in that particular book. Then the Greek philosopher Theophrastus, a great botanist, suggested some remedies over the plant diseases in 300 BC. So this is about two examples in case of our plant pathology about the ancient era. A dark era, which is known to be a dark, which is not too much opened in the previous century, in 16th century, from 14th to 76 to 16th century. That was not what we can say, it is not in any recommendations or any books, but it is known to be the dark era, which only Arabian scientists like Ibn al-Awan describe symptoms of many diseases and suggested control measures. There are no much uh, evidences of any kind of study of this our in relation with the plant diseases. So it is known to be the dark era. In 16th century, the Arabians Ibn al-Awan so describe the symptoms of the diseases related to the control measures related to the plant. Now, the basically in case of pre-modern era, in 1675, Dutch worker Anton van Leeuwenhoek developed the first microscope, and this is the most we can say important um, milestone or a research point of view or a historical event in the history of plant pathology, plant sciences, all plant sciences, that developed the first microscope, because without microscope we can't see a microbial world, or we can see anything beyond our open eyes. So Anton van Leeuwenhoek opened a new world in front of us in case of the microbe. So he discovered the first microscope. In 1743, Nidam reported plant parasitic nematodes in the wheat galls. So in case of that particular pre-modern era, Nidam, the scientist who reported the plant parasitic nematodes, it is segmented, a thread-like microbes that is to be causing the damaging to the roots. So this is in 1743. 1753, Carolus Linnaeus established a binomial system of nomenclature of plants and animals in book Species Plantarum. So I think you have well known about this. You have studied in 12th science class, so about the Carolus Linnaeus genera, species, so binomial system of nomenclature in 1753. 1755, French botanist Tillet published a paper on bunt of stinking smut of wheat, discovered which bunt disease in the wheat. So important event or important discovery or important historical event in the case of the plant pathology by French botanist, that is Tillet, in 1755, bunt disease of the wheat. 1807, French scientist I.B. Prevost, what he showed the bunt of wheat is the fungus, and showed evidence that a disease is caused by a microorganism. So this is about the pre-modern era, which is to be some of the 3 or 4 5 scientists which are important in that particular aspects. So in case of modern era, so what happens, the main pathological aspects which is to be happen in the modern era. The first, 1861, Anton de Barry from Germany work out the life cycle of potato, that lead blight, and first to prove experimentally Phytophthora infestans is the cause of potato leaf blight. He proved that fungi are causes but not the results of the diseases. He is the father of modern plant pathology. So if the plant pathology, if we say about the plant pathology, so first scientist who known gives the name to all the world about the plant diseases and plant pathology, that is Anton de Barry from Germany. And what happens at that time, Phytophthora infestans, that a particular pathogen causing heavily infection to the potato in the form of late blight disease. And the discovery of late blight disease in relation to potato to the whole European countries, that was the major milestone in case of the history of plant pathology, which is the whole life cycle, the control measures, and how the symptoms developed, how the management can be done. It is to be proved and it is to be explained by the Anton de Barry. And Anton de Barry, after that, developed lots of disease cycle. He studied lots of disease cycle of the diseases, proves the some etiological factor of the fungi and also the management practices in details. He wrote so many books in relation to this. So that's why he is known to be the father of modern plant pathology. In 1876, Robert Koch, from Germany, described the theory called Koch postulate. He established the principles of pure culture techniques. What happens in this case, Robert Koch? We are going to see this Koch postulate in also in our practicals. So isolation, then inoculation and re-isolation. These are the three steps in case of pure culture technique. What happens? What kind of pathogen is infecting to that particular plant, that is to be pruned by the Robert Koch. So that's why it is known as a Koch postulate. So these kind of principles to be done by pure in terms of pure culture technique, isolation, inoculation, and pure re-isolation from that particular plant. So that is the Robert Koch. 1881, H.M. Ward worked out the life cycle of coffee leaf rust. He's called as the father of tropical plant pathology. What happens? Coffee rust, particularly at the time there in Sri Lanka, lots of losses occurs due to the coffee rust, which causes the destroying of coffee plantation. And now totally it reduces the yield of the coffee from the Sri Lanka. If we can see that the Brazil is topmost exporter of the coffee in these days, but in the history there was a very destructive losses to the coffee plantation in Sri Lanka. That's why H.M. Ward is having the great importance not only in Sri Lanka but all over the world. The coffee leaf rust having the destructive losses. So that's why H.M. Ward having the importance, as well as not only for the leaf rust as well as for the other rust diseases. He had studied so many life cycles and given so many management practices. So he is known to be the father of tropical plant pathology. Now, in 1882, American plant pathologist T.J. Brill first time proved that the fire blight of apple and pear caused by a bacterium known as now known as Erwinia amylora. What happens in this case of apple as well as pear? Destructive losses occurs in European countries to cause to total rotting of the fruit due to Erwinia amylora, a very destructive bacterium. So total destruction which causes, because apple and pear, those are the important crops at that time and also today also in our daily needs as a fruit. So T.J. Brill, that was the important historical milestone which discovered the whole life cycle of the fire blight of apple and control measures over that bacterium. Next important is 1885, that is Pierre Marie Alexis Millardet, PA Millardet, sorry, PMA Millardet, normally known as a PA Millardet. So accidentally discovered the Bordeaux mixture for the control of downy mildew of grape vine. What happens in European countries? The downy mildew of grape was destructive in that particular era from 1880s. So he observed that copper sulfate and in combination with lime, when mixed with each other in a particular balance proportion, and if we are going to spray over that particular grapevines to reduce the downy mildew. So he find that a great achievement in that particular solution or Bordeaux mixture, known to be the Bordeaux mixture, known the Bordeaux University is there where P.A. Miladet was the professor. So Bordeaux mixture is going to be famous, and accidentally that copper sulfate and lime combination controls that particular downy mildew. And now from 1885 nowadays it is also all the farmers are preparing. It's very easy to prepare at our household, and Bordeaux mixture, and also all the scientists are also recommending Bordeaux mixture nowadays for all down mildew as well as some leafy diseases, foliar diseases. Okay. So now in 1886, Adolf Mayer described a disease of tobacco called tobacco mosaic. Okay. Adolf Mayer demonstrated the sap transmission of tobacco mosaic virus disease. So also in case of fungal, bacterial, and it's a start of the journey or a discovery of that the particularly known to be the viral disease. And in case of that, it is known to be the vivum fluidum first of all, and contagium vivum fluidum, and then it is known to be the virus. But tobacco at that time and also today also it's very important crop as a cash crop. So Adolf Mayer demonstrated the sap transmission of tobacco mosaic virus. That was the important historical milestone in that particular year, 1886. In 1887, Jensen developed hot water treatment of seed for control of loose spot of it. There are so many seed-borne diseases in nowadays and also in the previous era, that how it can be controlled. So Jensen develops hot water treatment, 52 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes, 50 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes. So that kind of hot water treatment, which can be, we can, any farmer can do household. There is no any requirement of chemicals. So such type of easy treatments developed by Jensen. 1892, Dmitry Ivanovsky demonstrated that the causal agent of tobacco mosaic could pass through bacterial filter. Dmitry Ivanovsky demonstrated, particularly related with the tobacco mosaic, that Ivanovsky prepared the solution, or we can call it as an inoculum, which is to be passed through bacterial filter, because bacterial filter has to discard the bacterium from that particular bacterial filter. But after after applying that particular inoculum on that tobacco mosaic leaves, so Ivanovsky proves that can be passed through bacterial proof filter. So that is the experimentally proven historical event in 1892. 1894, the Swedish scientist Eriksson described the phenomena of physiological recess in ciliary rust, that is fungus, Puccinia graminis. Also, there are so many Puccinia graminis TTC, Puccinia graminis, Puccinia recondita. There are three to four types of rusts in case of wheat, jawar, bajra. So particularly the Swedish scientist Eriksson, wheat is also an important crop. So cereal rust causing losses to the crops every year. So it's important to describe its physiological races, its disease cycle. So in 1894, the great discovery by Swedish scientists is related to the cereal rust. So this is about up till 1894. Then 1898, M.W. Beijerinck, a Dutch microbiologist and founder of virology, proved that the virus inciting tobacco mosaic is not a microorganism. He believed it is to be Contagium vivum fluidum, infectious liquid fluid. Means Contagium vivum fluidum means infectious living fluid. He was the first to use the term virus, which is the Latin word of poison. Okay, the Beijerinck is having important historical milestone in the case of tobacco mosaic virus, 1894 tobacco mosaic disease. he proved that it is not it is not a microorganism, but supposed to be like a contagium vivum fluidum, infectious fluid, and virus. He given the first name in case of that particular mosaic virus. So name as a virus, which is Latin word poison. So 1898 MG Beijering, sorry, MW Beijering, it's important. 1895 E.F. Smith showed the pitch yellow was a contagious disease. So that is also important. In 1901 to 1920, E.F. Smith, the same of the USA, gave the final proof of the fact of bacteria could be infectious of plant diseases. He also worked on the bacterial wilt of cucurbits and crown gall disease. He is also called as a father of phytobacteriology. So we have seen the Anton de Bary, the father of modern plant pathology. So related with the fungal diseases, now E.F. Smith, he studied more focusedly on the bacterial diseases, and he also worked on bacterial wilt and particularly in relation with the cucurbits, crown gall diseases due to the bacterial pathogens. So that's why it is known to be the father of phytobacteriology. 1904, R.H. Biffen was the first to show the resistance to pathogen in plants can be inherited as a Mendelian character, pioneer in the genetic of the plant disease resistance. So Biffen was the first of all to study in detail about the resistance of the plant, because pathogens are creating problems, creating infection to the plant, but the self defense or the plant defense or the plant disease resistant. So that was to be another genetical pioneer work in case of resistance. So that was proved by 1904 by the Biffen. 1917, E.C. Stackman demonstrated physiological forms in stem rust of wheat. So that was another historical event. And 1980, now this is related with the India. E.J. Butler published a book of fungi and disease in plants. He made exhaustive study in India fungi, Indian fungi and the diseases caused by them. He is called as a father of modern plant pathology in India. He joined as the first director of Imperial Bureau of Mycology, that is Commonwealth Mycology Institute, and now CAB, International Mycological Institute in Kew, England in 1920. He began the journal Review of Applied Mycology with H.G. Jones. He wrote Plant Pathology in 1949. So in relation with the India, E.J. Butler was the first scientist in 1918 who started the all study of the fungal and bacterial diseases in India, related first majorly related with the fungus, but that's why it is known to. He wrote several books. He was the president or he was the director over so many plant pathology institutes or some research institute, mycological council. So that's why the study of plant pathology in India in leadership of Mr. E.J. Butler, that was firstly found in from 1980s to up till the 1947, as well as also in some after the independence. So that's why he is known as a father of modern plant pathology in India. And next 1931, sorry, 1929, one important historical event is there. Sir Alexander Fleming isolated the antibiotic penicillin from the fungus Penicillium notatum. So if you see vaccination, this important word we have heard so many times in these days. So first vaccine isolated or the discovery what first vaccine was done by Sir Alexander Fleming, a Nobel Nobel laureate in 1929, which is to be isolated from Penicillium notatum, that is the fungus, and the first vaccine known to be the penicillin. So this important historical milestone. You have to be alert for this. It can be asked in any exam, not only in agriculture, but on all competitive examinations in the future. 1931, J.C. Luthra from Punjab, India, developed solar heat treatment for control of loose smut of wheat. So this is another related with the seed-borne diseases. So J.C. Luthra was there. So solar heat treatment for the loose smut of wheat from which is to be control from the soil, from the seed, which are to be known to be the seed-borne diseases. 1935, W.M. Stanley proved that virus can be made as crystals. He got the Nobel Prize in 1946. So a crystalline nature, particularly crystals. So he has given a certain kind of theory that he proved that the viruses can made by the crystals. That's why in case of viral diseases in 1935, W.M. Stanley got the Nobel Prize in 1946. But in 1936, F.C. Bowden and N.W. Pyrie from Britain found that the crystalline nature of the viruses contain nucleic acid and protein. If you see particularly in case of viruses, how it made up of, so it virus contains the nucleic acid, which is to be effective or known to be the poisonous, and a protective coat known as a protein coat. So that was discovered by Bowden and Pyrie. Now, in case of India also, some of the scientists given here. In 1948, B.B. Munkur started Indian Phytopathological Society with the journal Indian Phytopathology. He has written a book, Fungi and Plant Diseases, in 1949, which is the second book in plant pathology in India. Apart from E.J. Butler, before independence was the first director, but after that, the Indian scientist, that is first time who led over the study of the plant pathology after the independence. So that was B.B. Munkur, and he started the Indian Phytopathological Society and general related with the Indian phytopathology. So he studied or written so many books in relation with the fungi and plant diseases. So he was another pioneer person in case of plant pathological studies in India. In 1966, K.C. Mehta works on a disease cycle of black stem rust of wheat and reported that the black stem rust disease is originated from barberry plants of Nilgiri Hills. So in case of some of the particular wheat rust disease, what happens in North India, there are so many effective losses year by year. So K.C. Mehta was the first scientist who discovered the black stem rust of wheat disease cycle effectively, which is originated from the barberry plants from Nilgiri Hills. In 1967, Doi and Ishii, the Japanese scientists, found that mycoplasma-like organism, amylose, will be responsible for the disease of the allotypes or Doi observed that amylose are constantly present in the phloem, while Ishii observed amylose temporarily disappeared when the plants are treated with tetracycline antibiotic. So a certain kind of alonase, certain kind of leaf blotch type or some kind of abnormality occurs in the plant that is caused by mycoplasma, amylose-like organism, that was discovered first time by Doi and Ishii in 1967. At Doi observed the different thing that amylose are constantly present in the phloem, particularly, while Ishii observed amylose if we are going to treat with tetracycline antibiotic. So amylose disappeared for a certain kind of time, temporarily, not permanently. So it causing the infection. So amylose, that is mycoplasma-like organism, first term developed or discovered by Doi and Ishii in 1967. Then J.F. Dastur from 1886 to 1971, he worked on genus Phytophthora, particularly in India, cotton anthracnose, pink disease of citrus, foot rot of beetle vine, and cotton wilt. These are some of the, now we are going to see the name of the scientist who discovered a lot of their lifelong contribution in the case of plant pathology. G.S. Kulkarni worked on downy mildew of jawar and bajra, also and smuts of jawars. V.P. Bhide, he worked on fungal and bacterial diseases as well as nitrogen fixing bacteria in the soil. Use of bacterial based fertilizers initiated by him. So V.P. Bhide from College of Agriculture, Pune. So particularly the beneficial microbes, the nitrogen fixing bacteria, rhizobium, and particularly azotobacter. So the use of that particular bacteria or the beneficial aspects of that bacteria was studied first time by V.P. Bhide, and also the bacterial based fertilizer initiated by him in the nitrogen in relation with the nitrogen fixing bacteria and all related with that particular factor, which we can called as a biofertilizer in these days. So BNF laboratory, biological nitrogen fixation BNF laboratory at AC Pune. B.N. Uppal, he wrote the downy mildew of maize and bajra. He worked on several fungal, bacterial, and virus diseases related with plant pathology. M.J. Thirumalachar, he worked in Hindustan Antibiotics Pune and discovered Aureofungin and other antibiotics in relation with the plant pathology. So particularly Aureofungin was the first related with the Thirumalachar, the great discovery in case of the plant pathological aspects and other antibiotics. M.K. Patel, a pioneer work on bacterial plant pathogen in India. He worked on a new family, Phytobacteriaceae, which includes PTB. Means relation with the plant bacteria, means Phytobacteriaceae. The pioneer work as compared to the world historical events, we are dealing with in Indian bacterial pathological events. So M.K. Patel is the great name in relation with that particular bacterial diseases. Phytobacteria, PTB means phytobacteria. R. Rangaswamy wrote a book, Diseases of Crop Plants in India, that is also available in our laboratory. So these are some of the contribution in relation with the history, that is international contribution. So there are some of the important contribution of the world level scientist as well as the Indian level scientist, which is to be asked in examination, particularly in not in spotting, but if the physical, if your exam, you're not dealing with the online, so if there is should be the online questions, 4 options should be there, and any pioneer work, that should be the question for you, and you have to give it in multiple choice questions answer. So it's very important for all scientists. There is no any choice that you have to select any some 10 scientists or any 12 scientists. So all scientists are important for you in relation to plant pathology. So you have to study I think 4 to 5 marks are distributed, are important for this topic, that is history of plant pathology. Okay, in next lecture we are going to study about classification of plant diseases. Okay, so we are going to stop here now, and we will see in the next lecture. Okay, see you soon. Good day.